Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mike with Mal Collectibles. Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna do a full room tour. I was looking back and it's been about a year and a half since I did my last one, so I figured this would be a good time to do another one. There has been quite a bit of changes, so for any of you guys who have seen my previous ones, you'll notice a big difference. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'll give you an overview of the entire room, and if you guys, I'm gonna do my best. I know most of them, but if you guys, I'm not gonna remember every single piece who did everything. So just ask me in the comments. I'll post everything in the comments. Like I said, I will know most of them, but in case you guys are wondering where I got any of this stuff or who made it, feel free, just ask me in the comments, and I'll get all that information. Because off the top of my head, I'm sure I'm gonna blank while recording. But anyways, let's get started. So this shelf, again, pretty big changes on this one. Let me go ahead and work our way in here. So we'll start at the bottom. This is the McFarlane v Batman figure with a custom head. I repainted the entire thing, and then the Hot Wheels Batmobile. They scale really nicely together, so I think they look pretty good. I am planning on painting up the Batmobile at some point, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I was planning on doing it a long time ago and I still haven't started. So but anyways, next shelf we'll move up here to the Hot Toys Predators. These guys, I got the Elder. Here's the Elder Predator. This is the Predator, it's the original Predator from the 2010 movie. I think they call it, Hot Toys calls it the classic Predator. And then this one, I have a full video on it, but I have a custom head, like an upgrade kit where he added the trophies and the head. I have a full video on this one if you guys are interested. And then this is the Hot Toys Wolf Predator, the 2.0 heavy weaponry. I've done a little bit of repainting on this. This was the first Hot Toys I ever got, and this one's awesome. So, I mean, I like all of them, but Wolf's my favorite, and this one was fun. I did a little bit of like I said, repainting the base and some touch-ups on the armor and stuff. I will do a full video on this one if you guys are interested. I'll show you kind of the touch-ups and whatnot I did. Next shelf is some Naren Predators. Obviously these are model kits that have not been painted, but this guy is the Aboriginal, pretty much put together minus the dreads. This guy is the Temple Guard, which is one of my newer pieces. I do have a video on this one if you guys are interested in that. And then this is the Berserker. It's missing the arms behind it. I just, every once in a while, I came home and it fell out, so I just leave it out until I paint it. You can see I started painting this a while ago now, and I just wanted to do a better job, so I'm holding off till I'm a little bit more experienced, or I feel more confident that I can do a good job. Then we'll move up. This is pretty much a new shelf. I just wanted to incorporate a lot of more of like creatures and horror monsters, that kind of stuff. So I really like this shelf. These are just model kits I bought online. Again, these are the ones I'm going to kind of blank on. I got them from Etsy and eBay, and I have the creators for most of them. So again, if you guys are interested, just let me know and I can look it up. I just don't want to give out any bad information. And again, off the top of my head, I'm an idiot. I can't remember all of them. But this was a cool one. I have a full video on this one of the painted version on my channel. I made the base, kind of customized it a little bit and painted. I really like this one. This was a lot of fun to do. Just a kind of a classic werewolf, in the transformation. So when I saw that, I had to grab it. Here we got the Gillman from Monster Squad. This is a newer piece I've gotten, maybe a month or two ago. Really nice sculpt. I haven't cleaned it up yet, so you can see like there's still some supports, and I actually haven't done anything to this. I was kind of shocked. This thing came all in one piece. So this is exactly what I got in the mail, and I haven't even touched it yet, but you can see the really great sculpt on it. So I'm excited for this one to get it going, cleaned up, and see what I can do with it. It's gonna be a tough paint job, but moving over here, we got Tarman, The Return of the Living Dead. Awesome movie if you guys haven't seen it. Great monster. And again, this one, you know, it's like a little diorama. So I'm looking forward to painting this one. It should be a lot of fun because this movie's just wild. And I love the Tarmans that stand out in the movie. So looking forward to that one. And then this is more of kind of, in my mind, like a classic kind of werewolf, you know, fully transformed. It's hard to see because I primed him black. I actually started painting this one a couple weeks ago, and I just didn't like how it was going along, and I just decided to start over, so I just sprayed it black. The only thing I did, I'm gonna put some chains. I sculpted in these like the cuffs, you know, for like where the chains, because I wanted to make it look like he just broke out of somewhere. So I kicked around some ideas for this one, like making a bigger base, and I just couldn't really hit on anything I liked. So I might still make a background and stuff for it, but I am gonna just add the chains and to like make it look like he was wearing like shackled and chained up and stuff. Then we'll move up here. Sorry guys, it's hard to get an angle on these. A good one. That's a Jason by C4 Studios, I believe. I have a full video on this. Again, this one I bought they sold it as a fully painted statue and a model kit, and I ordered the model kit and they sent me the fully painted one by mistake, but I like it. So they asked me if I wanted to keep this or get the model, so I figured I'd just keep it. I do plan on doing some paint work to it, but you know, for now, I really like the way it looks, and happy to have it. And then this is a Viking Death Dealer sculpted by Ralph Bracetti. That it was a model kit I bought a few years ago, and I started painting and never finished it. But again, this is another one that's on the list. I got to finish it because it's a really cool model. So that's this, you know, shelving unit here. I'll show you from behind kind of the TV here. So this is like my living room setup. My couch is right behind me. So here's the TV, and then I got all the Berserk volumes. I started reading that last year, and it's unbelievable. So I got through those real quick. But under the TV and then over is the three Predator bio helmets. The one on the right here is the Scar, and then you got the Sideshow Berserker, and then the Wolf. So these are three of the ones I really like. I do want to get the original Predator and replace it with Scar. I just couldn't find one when I bought these. I got these a long time ago, and you know, Scar's is pretty similar, and I like it. So, but at some point, I probably will swap that out. So then we come over here to, this is kind of what I consider like the main display, kind of the main event. This is all the stuff my favorite stuff from when I was growing up, and the movies I kind of fell in love with as a kid and still watch today. So let's start over here at the top row. Most of these are 1/4 scale. This is 1/4 scale Predator from Prime One Studios. I got the regular version, so it comes with the helmeted and then the unmasked. I don't have the four heads. But yeah, I got this one a while ago. I really like it. I like the pose and everything. When the first time I saw this at whatever, I think it was like WonderCon or whatever they showed it off as, this thing kind of blew me away. But it's a great representation of the original, even though, it's kind of from the comic book that's based on the movie. So a really cool piece there. We got the Sideshow Studio ADI Wolf Predator. This was the first statue I ever bought. This, like I said, Wolf is my favorite Predator, and this is just such a cool piece. I never thought I'd be able to get it. I had been looking, like when I got into statues, and this was the one that, like, man, if I could just get one, it would be this one. and I finally pulled the trigger. You know, I found one available, and really happy that I did. And then you got the alien on the base there. So a really cool piece. By today's, you know, standards, I think, you know, the paint and everything could be better, but it doesn't bother me. I love this piece, and you know, the fact that it's a collaboration with Studio ADI makes it that much better to me. Then we'll move over here to the XM Studios Naren Alien Warrior. So again, crazy good sculpt. I love the, you know, the concept of this piece. Like, they're coming out of the hive and they're just crawling all over each other in kind of like attack mode. And this, for a long time, I thought, you know, when I bought this piece, I figured I was going to have most Predators. I'm like, this, if I can only have one alien piece, this would be it. So I got it. I love it. I'm not planning on selling it or anything like that anytime soon, but I did pick up the big chap from Prime One. Again, this was, I love the statue, and I wanted to get somewhere, you know, a year or two ago, whenever it was, I was like, man, it would be cool to have the original versions in the collection, you know. So that's what kind of made me pull the trigger on this one. Growing up, Aliens was always my favorite, and then Alien was second, but the big chap is such a cool design. And I've, you know, now that I'm a little bit older and stuff, I really like Alien too. So really happy to have this one. Got it secondhand off another collector, and the deal was great, and it was very easy to get. So very happy to have it. Move down here to the bottom shelf. We got the Berserker Predator fighting the classic Predator, kind of like the end scene in the movie. This one's very well done. The paint and sculpt on it is awesome. Get in a little bit closer here to the, you know, the head sculpt. This is another one. I remember seeing videos like when they first showed it, and I knew it would be huge. And it's actually not, I mean, it's big, but it's not like terrible. But I was just like, holy shit, man, that's one I gotta have. The only downside to this one is there is no helmeted version. You see the helmet on the base there, which I'm glad they put, but I like him so much better with the helmet on, the mask, and I wish they had a swap out head on this one. But other than that, really cool piece. That's the only kind of downside for me. Moving over here, this is a custom head sculpt of Wolf Predator I bought this from Casey McCabe, and Scott Marshall is the one who sculpted it. And then I had it painted by Gulf Studio. So this thing is you know, in my collection, the standout, I would say. You see, I do have to finish it. I painted, so Gulf Studio painted the head sculpt for me, and then I installed all the dreads, and I painted all the beads on the dreads, and I got to still do the necklace and then put like this collar on them. So it's not completed yet, but still looks good right here. I'm gonna do a full video on this one once I get it done, but this one blew me away. He showed me pictures of it, and I was amazed, and then when I saw it in person, it blew me away. So really happy to have this one. I was terrified when I shipped it to Thailand, and when I finally got it back, I couldn't believe it. You know, everything went great, and I was scared to death, but it came back, and I'm thrilled to have it. So a full review will be coming on this one, you know, when I get it done. But we'll move over here to my newest piece is the Prime One Terminator 2 endoskeleton. Again, this one, some of you guys might think this is kind of the odd man out. You know, it's not Predator or Alien, but growing up, those were the big three for me. It was Predator, Aliens, and Terminator 2. I watched all the movies and all of the franchises, but those were the ones that, like, to this day, I can tell you probably every line. So when Prime One did this one, and it's like that iconic, you know, the pose from the beginning, I figured this is a great one to put, and it completed this section of my collection, so it felt like a no-brainer, and it's really cool. I'm very happy to have it, and I think it fits in pretty good. It scales pretty well, so yeah, so it's kind of cool I have this section complete now. It feels good. And then next to him is the Prime 1 Predator Big Game. I've had this one for a while. Again, really cool piece. This one I swapped the heads out a lot. Again, just a really cool one. I saw the unpainted prototype when they showed it off and loved it, and it turned out awesome. I love the pose on this one. It's right off the comic book cover, so very, very cool. So that's, stand up here and I'll give you a once over. So again, I kind of consider this like the main portion of my collection, but that's completed. I don't plan on making any changes, and this is kind of what I'm looking at in my living room all the time, so I really like the way it came out. Very happy with it. I think these pieces all kind of work well together, and I really like all of them. So then we'll move over here. I just have this bookshelf, comic books, art books, that kind of stuff. Actually, real quick, I just let me try to get out of the glare, but I just bought this art print. I believe it was an artist on Instagram. I believe her name was Sandra Rush, but I just got this in about a week ago, and man, is it cool. So I just want to show that off real quick because it's new. The artwork is very cool, but I also really liked, those are my 3 favorite characters in Berserk. So I just want to show that real quick because that's very, very cool, and it's the newest addition to anything here. Then we got the 1/6 scale Batman collection. This is by Rovenick Studios. Dark Knight Returns, fully custom. I have a full video on this guy, so if you guys are interested, it's one of the earlier ones, so it's kind of in the back of, the backlog of the videos, but feel free to check that one out. It's pretty cool. This is your the in art Heath Ledger Joker. Very cool piece. Figure. I for any of you guys who have seen my other room tours or videos, like I don't pose them a lot. I kind of keep them how I like them. But this thing stands. I've never had any issues with the magnets. I know I've heard some people had, they fall down or whatever, but this one is pretty good, so I'm happy with that. And I have the sculpted hair version. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of these guys now, Heath Ledger versions, and I really like this one. It definitely does the job. So, and then this is the Hot Toys Batman Begins. I have a custom head sculpt by OT Customs on there right now, and the eyes are gone because I just started painting the cowl, and I just wanted to I got to paint the eyes and stuff, and the eyes are hard to install, so I'm just going to leave it out until everything's done. So that's why it looks a little bit weird right now. I still got to do I painted it matte. I still got to put I'll probably do a satin varnish on it to make like the head sculpt, the cowl and like the gauntlets were a little bit shinier in the movie. So this one also has a custom cape. But so yeah, this is all, unfortunately, this is all that's really left of my Batman collection, and which is a good and bad thing. I'll show you guys in a minute here where the big change was, but I moved on. I'm happy, but I'm also a bit bummed. I had to get rid of a bunch of Batman statues, and I liked all of them. So I like where my collection's at now, but I also do sometimes like, damn, I really like those pieces. So real quick down here, I just have, like I said, the comics and graphic novels and stuff, and these are some custom figures, or just some figures, not custom. This is a Wolf Cop. If you guys haven't seen that movie, check it out. It's awesome. It's hilarious. This one, again, I got it recently. I believe it's Creature Replica. Don't quote me on that. If you guys, I can look and post it in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it's Creature Replica. Really cool werewolf. Then this is the Fury Planet Veteran William. I did a little bit of repainting on him, the nails and the mouth and stuff. Let's see. It's hard to get a good shot, but I think the nails, they were just black. So I did all the hand, I don't know, I just like it better when they're not just black, and then I repainted the mouth. Which was fun. I like doing some of these smaller projects because sometimes it's intimidating to start a new one, and you just how much time it's going to take, and I put it off. So it's nice to do some of the smaller ones. And then this guy is just this is a Toonie Terror by NECA that I made a base for and just completely repainted it and put some hair. I removed the plastic and put some other hair, and this was a fun one to do. Again, a smaller project that you can just do and have fun with, and I really enjoyed doing it. So fun one. That's the Creep from Creepshow. And then we got the Tarman bust. I did a video recently about my bust collection. So again, this one I'd have to look. I got it off Etsy at Mike Swistak, I believe is the guy's name I bought it from. But I gave out the information in that, and again, I'll put it in the comments. I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I know I was going to blank when the camera started, so I apologize. But anyone that's interested in it, just comment down below, and I'll get the information. This is the Mezco Theodore Sod Cutter. I just really like this figure. It's crazy, kind of horror. Reminded me a little bit of the Crypt Keeper, that kind of thing, and it came with a cool comic book, so I really like this one. This is a Weta little Predator figure. I'm not sure the scale. It's you see it's about like an action figure size, but this is a cool one. Kind of like a cartoony take on the Predator I like, and I think I'm gonna paint in the mouth, and you see down here by his leg, he's got some of the blood. I think I'm gonna, just kind of touch it up, have some fun with it. And then here's the pumpkin head bust. Again, this one's in the previous video. I talked more about it, but I really like this one, and I'm looking forward to getting painting pretty soon on these guys. So then we'll move over here to, this is the biggest change in the collection by far since my last video, is this section here where you see now it's mainly all model kits. The majority of them are Naren. This was my big 1/3 Batman section, and that stuff's gone now. So I'll go through these pieces here, but for any of you guys who have seen the previous ones, this is the big change from last time I've done a video, done a room tour. But let's go over here. And so this is an alien bust. I painted a few years ago. I believe they say it's quarter scale. This is the 1/4 Alien Romulus. It's white. I sprayed it black and then dry brushed it white, and I'm gonna start painting it pretty soon. So that's why I know it looks kind of weird with the being white, but I painted the base, and I'm gonna get going on him pretty soon. But Alien Romulus, I think I'm gonna paint it I'm not a huge fan of the paint scheme for that, so I think I'm gonna just paint him this one, just take references from other ones. So I'm not gonna copy that paint job, but I really like the pose and the design of this one. So and then here we got the Naren Death Warrior. See, I got it mostly put together. Some of the parts I don't like for display. I just leave them off because the big spear, I just don't want it to fall off. And since I haven't painted it, some of the stuff I'm just gonna fix it on permanently. So moving on, here is the Bad Blood. This is the Sideshow version. This isn't the kit, but I did a full video on this one a while back. For any of you guys who've seen it, or I mean, if you haven't, it came real damaged. It was pretty much, wasn't fully destroyed, but I mean, it was real banged up. So I had to do a lot of work to get it to stand and hold it together. And you can see I started sculpting in, the blade was gone. So that's why it looks a little weird. It's kind of half put together right now, but I got to finish that up, and then I'll do a full video on that when I repaint it and everything. And then this is the Naren Viper. Same thing, I have a full video on this guy. So if you're interested, check out that video. Or if you guys have any questions, I mean, you can just ask me in the comments too. You don't have to go back and watch all these videos if you don't want. But really cool kit, one of the newer ones. And then this is just a Predator bust I got on eBay a while ago. The last Predator I was painting, I had a, you know, you could see like the base for the skin tones in there. I just had mixed up extra, so I figured I'd get that done. That's why it looks kind of half painted. But moving over here, we got this Shin Godzilla figure, statue. I saw this movie recently, you know, within the last 6 months, and I really liked it. I love this design of Godzilla. It was a little bit of an impulse buy, I'm not gonna lie to you, and it doesn't really fit in, and it's kind of tough to display. So that's why it's kind of in the corner here, but I really like it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna have to figure out a plan for this guy. Next is the Zez Studio Predator. I did a full video on this one. Again, I think this is the most recent one I've painted. And then you can see I still got to finish the head, but I got started on the head. So in that video, I said there's going to be a part 2. Once I finish the head sculpt, I'll put it on and I'll show it with the head sculpt, with the unmasked head sculpt. Next is the Naren Ahab Predator kit. This is the newest one. I just put this one together about a week and a half ago. I really like this one. Again, there's a full video on it, so if you're interested, check that out. I think this is Naren's newest release. I think there's 29 kits, so really cool. And you see how it scales with, so this is a Zez Studio one, this is not Naren, it's a little bit smaller, but you can kind of see how it scales with these other guys. And then we got the King Skull Valdez Naren kit painted by Golf Studios. Again, I got a full video on this. If you're interested, check it out. And I actually have a video of this version painted and then the unpainted kit. So check those out if you're interested. It's a great kit. Here's the Slayer Deverzard by Naren. You can see this one's massive. This one was painted by Joe Dunaway. Again, I have a full video on this one, but this is a standout for sure in my collection, not just because of the size, but the quality and the paint job Joe did on it. So yeah, I love this one. I don't have a ton of people over all the time, but usually when people are over, they ask, "Oh man, what's that one?" Or they always ask, "Did you paint that?" I'm like, "Nah, maybe one day, but no, not yet." And then here's the Rozex. Again, Naren kit. I painted this one myself a few years ago. I'm gonna do a video on it. I am going to repaint this. This is the first full Predator kit I painted, and I like it. You know, it came out decent. I like displaying it. I like the kit, but I know I can do a better job now. So at some point I am gonna repaint this, but again, yeah, this was, I believe, the first Naren kit I got, if I remember right. But really cool one. And then you got the other head for this one. You got the swap out. I got to finish painting that too. This is actually the guy who bought my Batman collection from me. One guy bought everything. He came over to look at one statue, and then he made me an offer on all of them. So it was pretty cool. But he also has this Predator, and his broke the head. You can't see too much, but there was a bunch of pieces that broke off in the hair, and so he asked me if I can repair it. So that's why it's up here. I'm just in the middle of repairing it right now, and then I'm gonna get it back to him once I finish. This is again after or before the Ahab kit. This is the most recent one I've built. This is Guts. I got this one from, Guts from Berserk. Model kit I got off Etsy. And looking forward to painting this guy up. And then here's the Batman, the Ben Affleck version. This is a 1/8 kit by Mobius. One of the first models I ever painted. So I bought that a while ago. Just looking forward to the kit. I'm not a huge fan of those movies, but I do like the armored version. And I do like this this kit. This one is, just because it doesn't really fit in anywhere, I do have this one up for sale. So if anyone is interested, go ahead and message me. I just don't have the boxes, so I was hoping to sell it locally if anyone's interested. I'm in the Chicago area, but and then here is the Nosferatu Zod. Again, I did a full video on this one. This is a pretty recent build I did, and then I'm gonna get going on painting it. Really cool kit. Went together pretty easy. You know, it wasn't hard to build. There's a lot of pieces, but pretty straightforward. And then that's the Wolf Cop. You know, just the box. I just like the box. So that's from the figure. I got it pretty recently, so I just like having it up there. And then this is the Soda Toys Pumpkinhead. So I did a full video on this one. I talked about I'm gonna make a statue out of this. This is a figure for you guys who don't know. You can see there's like, you know, the joints and seam lines because it moves. But I'm gonna fill all that stuff in and paint it and kind of make it a statue. Hopefully make a cool base for it, and you know, get that going at some point. So again, there's a full video for that if you're interested. But anyways, guys, that's the room tour. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, again, feel free to comment down below. I will answer everything. If you're looking for any of this stuff, or, you know, if it's something I screwed up the name on, feel free to ask. I do want to say real quick, especially recently, but really since day one with this channel, I've had nothing but good interactions with everybody, and I really appreciate that. I like everyone. There's been a lot of newer comments and people messaging me and stuff, and I really appreciate it. I just want to say thank you, because that's what got me into making these videos, was just to interact with you guys, and I've had nothing but good experiences. So I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you, and I appreciate it. I've been enjoying the conversations and everything we've been having. So thanks again, guys. I'm not sure what the next video will be. I'm going to try to keep them coming relatively quickly, but I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.